Hey friends, on today's video, we are going to be taking a look at this Eufy security floodlight camera. We're going to do a step-by-step installation video, and then we're also going to do a quick initial review. So stay tuned, all that's coming up. Okay, just a brief disclaimer before we get started. If you do this wrong and are uncomfortable, there really is a risk of shock, injury, or death is what the instructions are actually saying. Again, this is not super complicated, but I am not a licensed professional electrician. And so again, this is going to be for information purposes. If you want to do this yourself, you are going to assume your own risks and understand what you are getting involved with. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so this first part is pretty easy. Basically, you're just gonna find an outlet in your home and go ahead and plug the security camera in. Make sure we get that red light that comes on and is blinking. What we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be connecting this to the application first, just to make sure everything's working properly, we're getting a good live stream before we go and mount this on our home. If the camera somehow is having difficulties, maybe it's not connecting right or there is something wrong with it, you want to make sure you troubleshoot that first. That way you're not mounting this and having to take it down in order to send it back. So let's go ahead and download the application on my phone. Okay, so we're on my cell phone now. I'm just going to go to my app store. This is an iPhone. If you have a Samsung phone or a Google phone, something like that, you're going to go to the Google Play Store where you would normally download your applications. Once we're here, I'm going to hit that search button and I'm just going to look up Eufy, E-U-F-Y, security. We'll click on that. And as you can see right down here, this is the major one that we can now download. Okay, once we are inside the Eufy security app, you can see we've got a user license agreement we need to accept. And then we are going to create an account with Eufy. Again, this is just email, password. There's no extra charges that are going to be required. But again, you do need to sign up for this account. Okay, after you enter your email address, Eufy will send you an activation code. Just click on the link, it'll be in your email address, enter that code, and you will then be able to log into the app. Okay, we're back in our Eufy app, and as you can see, we have a few steps to walk through. It's asking us our region, so we can set that up. I'm gonna go ahead and just choose United States down here at the bottom, and we can move on. So this is the other thing that you need to set up. We actually need to give access for the application to give us notifications. So as you can see, we can go to the notification section on our phone and then just enable the notifications for Eufy security. I'm gonna go ahead and do that now by clicking on Go Set. Okay, again, this is going to be specific for iPhone, but as you can see, the third option on the access list down there is notifications. I'm going to click on that. I'm just going to slide that over and allow notifications. You can actually see that you can disallow some of the types of alerts that you get, as well as a few other settings. So go ahead and play around with that based off of the kind of notifications you want to receive. Once we're done, we'll click that back arrow and go back to our application. Okay, that is all the pre-setup that is needed. We are now ready to use our application to connect to our device, set it up as a new device, and then again, check that live feed to make sure everything is going through okay. So what we're gonna do is actually just click that big button to add a device. Now at this point, we can choose the type of device we are looking for. I'm just gonna scroll down here, and as you can see, we have the floodlight cam right there, and I'm gonna go ahead and choose that. Okay, we're gonna select the region where the floodlight cam will be installed. Obviously, we're gonna do USA or Canada. And then this gives a little attention disclaimer that the lights are gonna turn on during the setup. We aren't to look directly into those floodlights. It is a very, very bright light, so don't do that. Okay, so again, just a reminder to keep the power cord plugged in to the wall socket while the setup is happening. Okay, you are going to need to set up the camera to be connected to the exact same Wi-Fi that your phone or other device you're using to set this up is connected to. Again, that's how these two are going to communicate, is through your home Wi-Fi. So let's click next. So we're looking for that flashing red light again. Ours is flashing red, and we are going to click that.
Press the sync button until you hear the beep.
Okay, so next thing we're gonna do is actually press the top of our camera, there's that little sync button that we showed you, and we're gonna push and hold that for 2 seconds until we hear a beep. So we heard the beep, our floodlights came on briefly, and now we are flashing white. Okay, once you enter your Wi-Fi specific password, it will again begin connecting with the network. Make sure, again, your password is correct. Okay, once your flood cam has connected to your Wi-Fi network, you'll get a little signal and a little beep on the actual camera, and then you'll get this notification on your app. Let's click next. Okay, at this point, we're gonna assign a name to the floodlight. This is gonna be over our garage, so we'll click garage and next. So there we go, flood cam was added successfully. Let's click next. Okay, and as you can see, we now have a live feed option for where the camera is currently looking. Again, we're setting this up in our dining room area, so it's just pointed at the ceiling. But let's go ahead and click play and make sure our live feed is working. All right, so now that we know everything is working great, we are going to go ahead and unplug the device here. I'm just gonna unplug it like that. And we are going to be all set to take it outside and begin our installation outside. I'm gonna show you a few things here that you need to be a little bit prepared for while you are installing this. Okay, so we're currently looking right above our garage door, and as you can see, we have an old security light here. The problem with this one is that once our power went out, the floodlights came on and they haven't gone off since. I've tried to reboot this a couple of times and it's actually stuck in this configuration. This is one of the cheaper, I'm gonna call it a Chinese direct kind of model. We've done an installation video on this in the past. Honestly, would not recommend this one. We're gonna replace it. So first, obviously, we need to choose where we are going to set up our camera. We're gonna set it up in the exact same place, but you may need to do just a little bit of research on where exactly you want it. These things can be mounted just like this in this configuration shining out, or they can actually be mounted to the underside of the awning there and then look down. So either way, you can kind of figure out. Just remember that there are wires that come off the back of this and are gonna go through the house. For us, this worked out great because we actually have a slot underneath here that goes directly into the garage. And so we just had to bore a hole so that it could get into the garage. Let me go into the garage and kind of show you the configuration and why it's important to, again, do this kind of setup prep. Okay, so we're now on the inside of the garage and you're looking right in back of where that security camera was mounted. If you see this yellow wire, this is some extension wire that we have that we actually mounted to go along the ceiling and plug directly into our outlet that's right above our garage door opener. Again, that was installed in the house when we purchased it so that the garage door opener could plug directly into it. You may have something similar. If not, this cord may need to be mounted in a similar configuration, but with an extension cord that can reach to an outlet, maybe on a wall or something on the side of your garage. Again, do a little bit of prep to understand how you're gonna get this power to get into your security camera. Okay, so now obviously in this configuration with the cable just as long as it is right here, we're definitely not gonna be able to reach that outlet that's above our garage door opener. So basically what we're gonna have to do is disconnect the wiring at this time. Again, there's 3 different wire connections. You got the black, you've got the white, and then we have our ground wire here in the green. Again, I'm assuming that's what the connections are. Basically, we're just gonna untwist these little wire nut connections, and we're gonna expose those wires. And you can see how they're twisted up together, just like this. All 3 of these wires are gonna be similar, but this is gonna allow us to disconnect them and add on some extension to this. So again, we're gonna be mounting it obviously with these wires disconnected. Remember, this is where shock may be present if, again, your connection is powered in. Okay, after you untwist all the wires, it should look something like this. Again, these are the wires that are connected to the floodlight. And then this is the actual plug. I'm just gonna actually put this off to the side. We're not gonna need it for now. We're just gonna be focusing on the main unit here and the 3 wires that we untwisted. Okay, the next thing to do is actually to unmount the old camera so we can get to the junction box that holds this here. Basically, I have a Phillips head screwdriver. I'm just gonna go ahead and stick it into this hole here. There is a bolt that mounts this with a bracket. I'm just gonna unscrew that. Okay, so after removing the old camera, we've run into our first small problem here. So the previous installer basically just connected it to that yellow wire that I showed you in the garage. Basically by drilling a hole straight through this beam, it came out, and then they didn't have any kind of a junction box here. You can see where the hole is, that they just went straight through the old video camera's main body and just drilled directly into this beam here. Now obviously it worked. It was mounted pretty strongly, and again, everything worked okay. But what you really should have is something like this, which is a junction box. So I bought this Home Depot for less than $2. They're actually really cheap. Now, normally these would be buried, kind of embedded inside the beam like this to keep things really smooth and tight and looking good. Again, I'm not a professional electrician. I'm just doing this so we have a better mounting base, because the bolt that goes through the video camera into this, there's a little bracket that goes across this. I'll show you that in a minute. Basically, I won't be able to screw that into this board. It's a bolt and not a screw. So we're gonna go ahead and mount this. I'm gonna put a couple screws in these holes here. I knocked out the little silver disc. You can see the other ones that are like this. Knocked out that center one. We're just gonna feed these wires directly through here, and then obviously it'll mount flush up against the beam. Again, it should give us plenty of good clearance so that our video camera still hangs underneath the overhang here, is a little more protected from the weather. Again, I'm not a licensed electrician. This is just how I'm going to be solving this issue for the video in order for us to go ahead and mount the new camera. Okay, there you go. Again, just mounted with a couple of screws here that go straight into the back wall, fed the main wire through that center hole there. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is actually take our bracket, and we're going to be mounting this underneath that screw and this screw just at a diagonal here, and that's going to allow that bolt to go through the video camera and then make this nice and tight and flush against the junction box. So let me go ahead and loosen these screws. Okay, that's nice and tight in there now. Just take note that we do have an option to ground our ground wire from the security camera right here in this little slot. It came with a little green screw in the kit, and that'll just punch right in there. You can wrap the wire around this, and that obviously offers a great place to ground the wire. Now, our main wire assembly here that's coming in from the garage actually has the ground that's right up here, this little copper bit. And that is probably what we are going to secure onto, again, just so everything's in one seamless package here. Okay, our next step is actually to connect the wires here to the video camera. Now, if you're trying to do this with two hands, it's really difficult because you have to support the video camera and then obviously connect these wires together. So if you don't have somebody holding the camera for you, super awkward thing to try and do. That's where this little hook comes in. This is included in the package, just a nice little extra to make the job easier. If you have this hole punched out or another hole, you can hang it from here. I'm actually gonna hang it directly from our bracket. And then basically we can just hang the video camera directly on top of here, and that will allow us two hands in order to connect our wires up right here. So let me grab the video camera and put it on there. Okay, hopefully you can see how that works. Again, hook around the main camera unit there. Gives me access to the wires, and then the hook is up here as well. Now I have two hands. Okay, once again, a reminder, make sure your power is off. This is disconnected because you are gonna be touching two wires together. This is where a shock is very, very prevalent if you're not doing this correctly. So again, recommend a professional. Again, this next steps are for demonstration purposes only, just to show you how we are doing it. Okay, so again, black to black on this main wire, white to white, and then our green wire, which is our ground, is gonna go to this copper piece right here. Okay, so there's multiple ways of doing this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna use the included end caps that they added in the kit. So what we're gonna do is take the ground wire, we're just gonna put it right up against the other ground wire here. Obviously I can't do this with just one hand, but once we have those together, we'll put this cap on top, and then we're just gonna twist everything together, and this cap is gonna offer a protection. And the other thing it does is it gives a nice seamless connection for the two wires to be wrapped around each other. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those two together. I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, there are those two wires connected together with the nut here. Again, it's really nice and tight. Those two, I can kind of tug on this a little bit. You can see it's really nice and secure. I'm gonna do the exact same thing with the black and the white wires now. Okay, there you go. All three of the wires are now connected with those cap nuts. And this is what's nice about these junction boxes. We can feed all these wires back inside in the back of here, and it will allow some protection from the elements and the weather, and also prevents us from having to force feed everything back into this hole to protect it from the weather and keep the camera flush. The other thing we can do is actually wrap some electrical tape around this area. Again, that just provides extra protection from shorts and things like that. Okay, here's a quick peek. You can see I pushed all those wires back in behind that little bracket. And now this is going to be able to push back and be flush against that junction box. And the last thing we're going to do is actually put a bolt straight through here, and that is going to connect into that mounting bracket hole right there and secure this thing on. And nice and flush back there now, we should be good to go. The kit also comes with this little plastic cover, and that's actually just to slide in right over that bolt hole, and that just kind of cleans everything up real nicely. Okay, basically at this point we are ready to position our floodlights and camera in the right direction. Basically this is just going to be angled down nearly at a 45-degree angle, basically kind of like this. Again, you can adjust this based off of the camera view that you want. This is going to look pretty decent for us. There's a little screw that's right under here. Basically what we can do is we can get at that with a screwdriver and tighten this down so that it doesn't move on us. And then we're also going to adjust our floodlights at this time. So we've got these little knobs again. Just going to unscrew those, a couple of turns, and that's going to allow us to really get these up and angled in the right direction. Once we have them where we want, we can actually, again, tighten this down. You may have to adjust this a little bit. You may have to do a little playing around, kind of figure out your best configuration based off of light and monitoring on the app. So once you have it locked in position, we will be ready to turn the power back on. Don't forget at this time too, we can take off all of our little sticker protective things on the rest of the camera here. Let's get rid of this guy. We can get rid of this guy up here. And we can also get rid of this sticker right here. Okay, so in this instance, I did not turn off the breaker, didn't need to because this just unplugs real easily. And now we can plug it back in and get power to that camera. Okay, you know you've had success if you see this flashing white light or a steady white light. The flashing is if you walk in front of the camera, you'll get a quick notification. Obviously, steady white light means it is just in regular standby power mode, just like that. Let's go ahead and give a quick, there we go. You can see the red light goes on and we should get a notification here. All right, friends, that's basically the process. Again, as far as installation goes, it's not super hard. I guess initial review, if things look good, the app looks good. Again, it's gonna take a little bit of testing here just to give a full review. We'll be doing that here later on the channel. We'll also show you a few little tips and tricks, as well as some how-tos on this camera. So stay tuned, subscribe. You may want to be available for those videos, which will be coming out soon. If this has helped, hit that thumbs up. Let us know we are making good videos for you, and we'll see you again on the next one. Thanks for watching.